I went to the old Best Buy yesterday.
Yeah?
And I got to tell you, what a collection of fucking idiots.
Why?
Over there at the Best Buy.
It's all we got left is the Best Buy.
I know, and apparently they know that. Because it's just...
really? What were you looking for?
It's always. I wanted to get a small Windows computer to play games on, computer games. Because I do have the Xbox, which is wonderful. I've been playing Modern Warfare on it.
Do you like it?
Yes, I like it. I got the Zim 3. It's XIM 3. If you hate the console controllers and want to use mouse and keyboard, get the Zim 3. It's amazing.
You like the key? Wait, let me ask you. I don't
mouse and
game.
Keyboard.
When you use mouse and keyboard, is that like you just? Oh,
you go like this. You're going.
Well, why are you hitting like
over the side, over this way? You move your guy with these.
You move your guy. You can move your guy with your left finger on the keyboard.
Yeah, and then you spin him around and aim with your mouse.
How the fuck is that easier than a?
It's so easy. It just becomes second nature.
It's just what you're used to, I think, Ant.
No, you know what it is too.
Because you gotta have both sides of your brain working. Your left hand and your right hand.
But you got to on the controller also, if you think about it. But the thing is, you can get so much more detailed control with a mouse. If you hooked up, and I've said this before, if you hook up an Xbox controller to your computer and try to get the mouse icon onto a link to click, you'd be sitting there trying to line it up. But a mouse, you just you're right on it, you click. Mm-hmm. That's how it is with targeting with a mouse. It's just easier with a mouse and keyboard.
What does Zim allow you to do? Play these with the keyboard and mouse?
Yeah, you could plug a keyboard and mouse into your Xbox and adjust it. You could program all the keys. You could adjust the sensitivity of the mouse and reallocate the keys to what you want them to do. It's everything that a PC gamer would want if they're playing on Xbox. There's no delay. Everyone's like, "Oh, those things suck because it skips," and there's a delay. There's no delay. It works just as good as a fucking PC.
And your gaming got much better since you switched over?
Yeah. I'm still getting used to the game itself. So, you know, even though I'm moving well, I can move well right in front of somebody with a shotgun.
How are the
and
graphics?
They plow my face in. Good. Really good.
Is it an upgrade from the last game?
It's about the same.
About the same?
About the same. It's different maps, a couple of different weapons.
Yeah.
And it's just...
That's just amazing. That's in-game, right?
Yeah.
Where's Modern Warfare? Can we see the one Ant's playing?
Yeah, I think that was it. Modern Warfare is great. But I decided, a lot of people said, Anthony, why are you playing that child's game, Modern Warfare, on the Xbox? You're a little pussy. Why don't you get Battlefield 3? Now, I was looking at Battlefield 3. I've been a fan of all the Battlefield games. I like Battlefield 1942. It was great. It was like an old World War II thing. You get to fly some of the planes. You grab the joystick and just fucking tearing. Well, I pick it up, but, I need a computer. I need the whole thing. I pretty much bought a computer dedicated to video games now.
And Battlefield's not on Xbox, I'm assuming?
It is.
It is.
But I was hearing from my PC gamers, it's like, no, you could play it on
this. If you're going to play it, you want to play it on a PC?
Play PC. Okay. It's great. And I'm thinking, I don't want to try to fly some of the aircraft in the game using that dumb fucking controller. And the Zim, I can't use a joystick with it yet. So I figured I'd get the PC game. So I go to Best Buy. I pick up a PC. I pick up the game. I pick up keyboards and fucking whatever I need to play the game. And I get home, and the computer doesn't even start. Doesn't even work.
Why?
And I don't know. The back by the fan, it had a distinct smell of a power unit that kind of took a shit.
The one you just bought?
Yeah. So I'm going back to Best Buy with it. I go back. I go to the customer service thing. I hand him the receipt. I'm like, okay. He goes, oh, you're going to get another one? I was like, yeah, I'll pick out a whole nother computer, one that's a little more expensive and shit like that. So he goes, okay, just come back here when you're done. I go, oh, okay.
Sounds easy.
Yeah, I did it. I picked one out.
There's always a problem, though. I'm waiting for the problem.
I go back.
There always is one.
Now, the guy that told me that, he's not there anymore.
Why would he be?
He's not there anymore. Now there's some other guy there. He goes, okay, just stand on line here. I went, and I look at the line is now fucking huge. And it's customer service line. This isn't just ringing shit up. These are people with problems. You know how slowly that fucking line goes? And I go, I waited online already. I go, I was told to bring this up here, and I exchange it. I already did my waiting online time. No, you got to wait on the line. So I'm just standing there eyeball fucking this guy. I'm just fucking looking at him like, you prick. And everybody that walked up to customer service to have something done, there was a problem. And I was this guy. Look. Yeah, that's good. What are you paying in drachma? What happened? Would you bring that back after 10 years? It's just people.
So you actually got in the line?
Are so annoying. Yeah, but I kept looking at it, and then the original guy came back. And
Did he notice you?
Yeah. He's like, all right, come here.
So you were right the whole fucking time?
Yes.
Jesus.
But douchebaggy new guy,
right?
Like, thought I was fucking trying
Power
to
trip guy.
Pull the wool over his eyes, as they say. And it completed that transaction, went home, hooked everything up, and I start playing the game. Battlefield 3 sucks asshole. I went through all the trouble because I'm hearing everybody say how great it is and how much better than Modern Warfare it is. It's not. It's buggy as fuck. First thing I do, I get on, and nothing works. I'm hitting the thing. My gun won't fire. So I kind of fixed that.
How'd you fix that?
I threw a new mouse on. It wasn't identifying some shit. And then it wouldn't stop firing. Like right when I would spawn, my fucking gun just starts going. I'm just shooting at nothing.
That's helpful.
Yeah, real helpful. And that's a bug in the system. So I had to weed that out by taking all the settings off of the joystick. It just was a pain in the ass. Mm-hmm. Like when I play a game, I just want to play a game. It took literally an hour and a half to load the game.
Oh, fuck that. And
they use some kind of an interface called what is it? Oasis I'm not even sure what it is. It sucks so bad to go to a multiplayer board.
What is an interface?
Origin, that's it. I'm sorry, Origin. It's like if I want to play multiplayer, you hit multiplayer in the game, and it takes you to a lobby area where you can choose what game you want to play, and it puts you on a team and shit like that. Okay. This is web-based. It's like a browser comes up in the game. I don't want a browser to come up. I want gamey shit to come up. And then you click on it, you get put in some game. There's really no.
Why are they so behind? Sounds like that's some shit they should have figured out.
This Origin interface is supposed to be like Steam was for another gaming system, and it doesn't work well. The game's buggy. The levels are huge, and you wind up wandering around doing nothing until you get killed. It was fun driving a tank, but.
But you're back to Modern Warfare already?
Yeah, I got a Battlefield 3, at least for the PC. It sucks, and I can't see it being good for the Xbox because how are you going to fly those planes with a controller? Mm-hmm. You need a legitimate joystick with the throttle, with the where you're able to spin the joystick left and right for rudders and shit. Like it's just easier to be good with a plane when you have a joystick.
This is pretty cool, by the way.
This game is fucking...
I'm watching the Modern Warfare on YouTube. Great. This is pretty fucking cool stuff,
Modern Warfare is great, man.
They're just going into all these like places.
Yeah.
Just going into all these places. Could you just hang out in there if you wanted to?
Oh, someone will get you eventually.
I love how Jimmy just explains video games.
Someone will get you
to go in all these little places.
But if you like open that door and went under there and just fucking relaxed.
You could do that.
Like say you had to shit. Anthony had to shit. Could you just put your guy behind a fucking the gun depot here or something and
I've done that before, and I've come back and the guy's been fine. I've come back and guy was dead.
How would they find the man there? If he just fucking hanging out, turn the lights off,
just wandering around. People,
who's wandering down there?
People also look down there. What made you go down there? That makes the other people go down there.
All right, what do you think you're special?
Then they'll just see you sitting there, not even pointing the gun at him, and be like, "Oh, then you could really kill him well."
You're just frozen.
Take the shotgun right to the back of his head.
Yeah. Have you ever seen one like that?
Oh yeah. I've come up on people that must have been taking a piss or something, and their character is just kind of standing there, and you walk up and just put the gun right next to his face and. Boom!
This should be a fucking thing where like you have a 5-minute like shit button, but like
shit button.
But while it has to humiliate your character, like while you're gone, your character has to stand there and just sing Minnie the Moocher. That's really embarrassing.
Shit break time.
Yeah. Oh, he's taking a shit. How do you know? I don't know. His character's going cha cha cha
cha cha cha cha. But I was getting much better at aiming.
Wow.
And at killing and having kill streaks.
What's that blood streak mean on the thing?
That means the guy's getting hit somewhere. That means the character that's your character is taking some damage.
It faded away though. He's good.
Yeah, now he's good to go.
That's fucking good.
He's running a minigun there.
Could you go to those mountains back there if you wanted to, or no?
I think that's you probably hit a barrier at some point.
Oh, you do?
Oh, just down that helicopter. That was a good one.
What happens if you hit a barrier?
You can't go past it.
But I mean, like, is it like a physical barrier, or you just keep walking?
You just can't move. It's like a roadblock or boulders are in the road. They do some pretty interesting things to keep you in the game. Oh, that guy's chewing up people with his minigun. Although it's so easy to just fucking get hit in that game.
In modern?
It just happens all the time. If I'm sitting somewhere camping a doorway, waiting for somebody to come in, I will always get shot in the back. I'll always be facing the wrong direction. And if I'm camping on a doorway waiting for someone to come in, I will always move to look behind me for a second.
Right.
And the second I do that, that's when someone comes in the door and shoots me.
Can't you have just a little mirror on your gun so you can
Wouldn't that be nice? See what's behind you?
Yeah, like when you're biking, you got a little fucking mirror that you can check out. Why
I
not?
need some behind me shit.
Hey, is there anyone in those helicopters they're shooting down?
Yeah.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
So there's some other guy playing that, going like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I want to see the helicopter view.
They have them. If you get a helicopter, you're able to target the ground and launch. You could get Predator drones and launch missiles into a group of people and take out like a shitload of the opposition.
Can we see on YouTube what it looks like from the helicopter?
Ooh. That's when you get enough kills. If you get like a bunch of kills in a row, you can get a helicopter, you can get Predator drones, you can get bombers.
A plane?
Yeah. But it's not like it turns into a flight simulator or anything. You're just in charge of what the plane's doing, and you can kind of just drop a shitload of bombs on it. Well, that's why I was liking Battlefield 3, the idea of it, because I used to like Battlefield 1942. You'd fly the plane around and be able to go on bombing runs and fly upside down and do loops and fucking... Nothing was better than turning with your wingtips scraping on the ground as you just strafing people.
Look at that. They're in the helicopter. What if you...
see, now it takes off.
What's a really good... That's fucking pretty cool, man.
And now
the guy's like, he's just driving it. Fly it, asshole.
Yeah, you could... he's keeping pretty low.
Yeah, it's not a Saturn.
How the fuck did they figure this shit out?
Dude, it's all ones and zeros.
I know.
I don't know.
In the end, it's ones and zeros, right?
Don't know what
ones
that
and
means.
zeros.
Jesus.
I don't know what ones and zeros means.
It's just on or off. Things are on or off.
What do you mean?
Whether it's a color, whether it's a movement, whether it's something you do that makes something go on and off, it's just on
What
and
is
off.
a 1 or a 0? I don't know what that means. Everything's 1 or 0, and I don't know how to start.
And a combination of the ones and the zeros.
But like, what is a 1?
1 means on. Means the circuit is closed. The transistor on that little circuit board with millions and millions of transistors on it is now closed, and current can go through that circuit, and that current going through that circuit tells something what to do. Like 1 pixel turns red. And then another one tells that pixel to move over 1 spot. And then a 0 tells it to go away. It's just fucked up. It's
Ones
amazing.
and 0. Oh, okay, but they're all little circuits. And what are they letting light through?
No, electricity. And it informs the computer what to put out. It's very hard to explain. I'm not doing a good job.
I wish
all.
somebody knew, because it's the most basic thing, and I don't get it.
You might have to go back to school. They teach that shit.
Yeah.
You want to take a course, maybe?
I should have
On
a
the
funny
ones and the
sitcom.
zeros?
The older guy that goes back to school. None of the kids understand me. I started in grammar school.
Anthony, it's an EA game, that Battlefield Earth, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with Matty. He says they've been known for not giving a shit with their games.
Yep. I'll go back to Battlefield 1942 because I got my joystick. I had a piss with that game.
Yeah.
Flying a fucking Corsair, old World War II Corsair, and just coming into a Japanese village, and then you just fucking nail them, drop some bombs, pull out, and then dogfighting and shit like that. Like you'll start seeing shots wing past your canopy, and you're like, whoa, heavy turn, or you come up and pull a fucking rad Immelman move or something, and then but before you know it, you're behind the guy chewing him up.
Right.
you get really good. I got so good with those planes. It was so much fun, and I was expecting that with Battlefield 3, and it sucked ass.
Larry's going to explain the ones and zeros to Jimmy.
Oh.
I want to hear this. Larry in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Hi, boys.
Hi, Larry.
Jim,
Yes, sir.
Jim, are you familiar with base 10 numbering?
Oh, my God. I have no idea.
I just threw him off.
No, what does that mean?
Base 10 is the numbering system that you are familiar with. You have 10 separate distinct digits, 0 through 9.
Yes, okay.
Okay, the ones and zeros is base 2 numbering. You have 2 digits, a 1 and a 0.
Okay.
The 0 is 0, the 1 is 1. To represent the actual number 2, the number in base 2 numbering is 1, 0. And 3 is 1, 1. So you only use 2 digits because an electronic state through a gate is either on or it's off in the electronics business. So
Right.
that's why it's all ones and zeros, and you represent the numbers with the 2 digits, 1 and 0.
But let me ask you, okay, what was the number 3? Like, why would you put a number 3 somewhere? Like a 1 and a 0 for a 2 or a 1, 1, 1 for a 3 or whatever it is? Why would you do that? What would that tell the computer?
Well, it would tell the computer you're trying to represent an analog number 3, because in base 10, when you get to the number for 10, you have to restart reusing your 10 discrete digits, so 10 is represented with a 1 and a 0. So in base 2, when you get to the actual number, what we think of as 2, you have to start reusing your digits, so the base 10 equivalent in base 2 numbering is a 1 and a 0. Versus 3 is 1, 1.
Listen to this guy.
Wait, what?
He sounds like he's explaining it perfectly.
Of course he is. To people that know.
Yeah,
But
he's dumbing it down, but my brain exploded about 30 seconds
But
ago.
how does it, like, if say there's a bunch of ones and a couple zeros, how does the computer know if that should be a fucking, if I'm starting a picture of a tit, or if I need red because I'm making a sign? How does it know?
Well, that's a part of the function of the software. The software interprets the ones and zeros. I mean, all the software is just the single 2 digits, a 1 and a 0, because the gate can be on or it's off. And then you represent everything in the computer based on how the software interprets the electronic states, whether it's a 1 or a 0, because it's really simple in a computer, because 0 is no voltage and 1 is whatever. If it's a 3-volt supply, the semiconductors are now down, instead of the old days of TTL, the 5-volt, it's down to 2 volts. So 2 volts is a 1 and 0 is no volts, because the gate is on or it's off, and you represent it all with base 2 numbering. I mean, I didn't even start getting into octal. Early computers weren't octal, and I use computers that use binary coded hexadecimal.
This guy is
Are you a computer?
so
Are you a computer programmer?
No, sir, I'm a truck driver.
But you just
I don't
obsessed
mean
with
to
computers,
laugh.
right?
Why aren't you in the business?
Because I make more money driving a truck than I do when I was an intelligence analyst, a linguist, computer programmer, computer repair. I can fix radios, computers. There's no money in that. And I do make more money driving a truck.
That's a shame, man.
Do hackers understand the 1-0 stuff, right?
You think?
Well, yeah, like Anthony having so much trouble with the game, he doesn't realize as soon as those kids get the game, they deconstruct it and create cheat codes. That's why you can't kill them. You can't kill the guy. I mean, for heaven's sakes, literally as soon as the game is at their house, they're constructing cheat codes to make their guys invincible, to make sure no matter what he points in the direction, the reticle immediately starts glomming on objects to get hits every time.
Yeah, that I've noticed some people. I've shot them 3 times square in the chest with a Barrett 50 cal, and they just open fire on me.
But can I ask you something? You bring the Xbox game home. How do you develop the cheat codes and add it to your game? I never understood that.
Well, you have a separate PC with they've deconstructed an Xbox so that they've interfaced their Xbox with their PC, and then they download the game into the
But
PC,
how do you connect it to?
Playing with it.
You got to dumb this down for me. But how do you connect it to? You got the Xbox gaming system. You got your computer. You're working on the cheat codes, and now how do you combine the two?
Well, the Xbox is a computer itself.
Agreed.
And all you have to do is construct an interface between your PC with a keyboard and a screen, or they've altered their Xbox into a computer with a keyboard so they can actually get inside the codes of the Xbox to understand how the Xbox works. Now, I personally don't know what microprocessor the Xbox uses, but I got to assume it's a Microsoft. It's Windows-based, so that anybody with a Windows computer, if they can get into the Xbox, and the hackers do that. As soon as they come home, they plug it in, they get into the, they download the cartridge or the DVD or whatever it is, because it's probably not cartridge. I'm dating myself. But, they just download the DVD and start deconstructing the code.
But how do they know? Let me ask you something. And this is a basic hacker question. How do they know when they download it? Like when you look at code, it's a bunch of numbers and shit. How do they know, all right, that one makes the left leg go? I just don't, how do you fucking look at that and make sense of it?
Well, there's guys that do understand the ones and zeros. That's how I wrote software. I wrote in ones and zeros. But I was very familiar with the computer. There wasn't anything about that computer I didn't know. I understood the hardware. I understood the software. There wasn't anything I didn't know. And I wrote everything in ones and zeros because I understand how the computer actually functions. Like the guys that write the operating systems have an intimate understanding of how the computer works. Ones and zeros is normal to them. Most guys, they just look through an interpreter. I mean, it all is done in some kind of a language, whether they're using C or they're using C++ or whether they're in the Windows system. They're not actually looking at the ones and zeros. They're looking
does love
at
ones and zeros.
The letter representative representing it. But the guys that write the operating systems, they understand the ones and zeros, and actually are intimately familiar with how the computer works.
Intimate.
Because Well, you have to, because you have to manipulate the stack yourself. You don't have an operating system to take care of all that for you. The pointers.
This guy is like a super nerd.
I don't know what that means, though. Manipulate the stack.
Well, the stack is where the computer stores things, and it stores things on the stack, so you have to know where the pointer is.
Wait, is that like my boot record? Yeah. That's all I know is my boot record.
Well, the computer. Well, if you're going back to a DOS-based system, which is what you're talking about, if you're talking about a boot record, the computer has an architecture. The microprocessor itself,
the architect,
the actual
like the Matrix,
computer has an architecture, and you understand the architecture. What happens inside
Who is the one
computer that the operating system takes care of?
Neo.
Can hackers? Let me ask you. Can hackers, when they steal software, can they make it so the software doesn't report them?
Yes, of course.
Because the software reports you and tells on you, right?
It tells on you.
Yeah, but what you do is you either clone a legal user, or you tell the computer, you tell the software not to report. Because if you download it and then immediately sever your connection online, then there's no place for it to report.
Of course.
The Whopper finds out, though.
Hey, we got another egghead that wants in on this.
Oh,
hello,
Dan
sir.
in Cleveland, you're on with Larry the truck driver. Dan's very mad because he thinks he could explain it better to you.
Oh, okay. Hi, Dan.
But Larry's still on the line to defend himself, so here we go. Dan, go ahead.
Hey, boys.
Hey.
There's a reason this guy's a truck driver. I'm actually an electrical engineer and do make money at it. Jimmy, ones and zeros is all representational mathematics. Everything has a number associated with it that then represents something else. It's all, think of it as just regular languages. Somebody knows how to speak Indian, translates it to somebody who knows how to speak English. That's all that it is.
Okay.
So there's got to be some sort of translation tables or something that converts a 1 and a 0 into something that a computer needs to know. That's all that it is. Really easy.
But why does everything have to have a number?
What else are you going to represent it with?
I don't know.
You better represent.
You better represent is right.
That's all computers understand, ones and zeros.
Larry,
numbers.
Does that make sense, Larry?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's a representation of the actual electric state in the computer. The computer's not looking at a 1 or a 0. The computer's looking at no volts or whatever the value is of the logic, the actual circuitry. It's looking at a 0 or a certain voltage level.
It
represents 1.
You guys are explaining it, and I know you're really dumbing it down as much as you can. And maybe if someone showed me in front of my, I just can't wrap my head around it.
It's like Plinko. It's like Plinko. See. You got a piece of information.
I don't know what Plinko is.
And it goes. You ever see the game?
This is the sound my logs make when I don't drink enough water.
Plinko.
You just a little piece comes out.
Plinko.
No.
See, if you have a piece of information that's got to go through a processor, which is just a bunch of transistors miniaturized, it's going to go, okay, this one's off. I can't go through that one. This one's on. All right, I go through this one. It's like taking forks in the road constantly until it gets where it has to be.
How fast does that happen, though?
It's so fast.
For everything to come through. You know how quick that's going?
It's either on or off.
Billions of times per second. Billions of times per second.
Billions of times per second.
That's just silly.
Per second.
Is that,
per second.
is that moving at light speed or no?
Yes, it's electricity.
It is.
Yeah.
That's light speed?
Speed of light. Electricity.
Oh.
All right. Thanks.
Light fucking moves, man. Thank you guys very much. I'm sorry I'm so dumb.
Thanks.
Per second.
More importantly, Incest wants to help you out with cheat codes and stuff. And no, he wants to explain how he fucks up multiplayers.
Oh, good.
Incest, what's up, buddy?
Incest.
What's going on, brothers? How you doing?
All right, man.
You're best.
Okay, my bachelor's is in computer programming. My major is in
I got a radio show.
engineering, and we in Battlefield 2 we completely broke it down, and basically to dumb it down, we made it so that bullets coming at you were going to 3 inches to the left, 3 inches to the right, up, down, left, right. And bullets that were going at you we were making it so that they could go straight through armor, straight through, and that they would pretty much home in on the target. And we got kicked off of Xbox.
Of course you did.
We got completely fucked. We got fined. But it's easy to do. It's not hard to do. A simple 2 classes in computer engineering will teach you the tools that you need to open the golden gates of fucking people over.
Like an infomercial, this guy.
But how did they throw you off? Could like a great hacker or like one of those guys who's like an anonymous, like one of those fucking, like one of those hardcore guys have fixed it so Xbox couldn't have thrown them off or couldn't know what they're doing?
Here's what happens a lot of times. The guy, shut up. Here's what happens a lot of
Go ahead,
times.
sir. What happens?
They'll be playing and cheating, and other people in multiplayer that they're playing with goes, "What the fuck?" and reports them and says, "I think they're cheating." And then Microsoft looks into it.
And they have their own guys,
Yeah.
who are just as smart,
Right.
Who they're like hacker level
And
guys
they
themselves.
they can
Okay.
tell when somebody's been using a fucking jacked unit.
Yeah, because that's no fun, right?
No.
We didn't
For
get
the
caught
thousands
like
of players
that.
not doing that.
We had a pink sock that was on our team
Pink
that decided that he was going to be a fucking big guy and go and tell everybody about what we were doing, and that's how it
People
got
love
around,
talking.
and ended up 15 grand in the hole, and almost served jail time for it. But so I'm banned from all fucking Microsoft systems. I can't get back on any of them, but it's easy to do. It's binary. It's all
Yeah, well,
to do. I wish
for you maybe.
I wish
All right.
I was back in it, Anthony, and I could hook you up, and you would just.
And I would get thrown
rip
off
their
too. That's
asses
great.
out.
Yeah, great.
And I'd get fucking thrown off.
All right, Incest.
You
Thank
Microsoft criminal.
Let's go to Mitch in Montreal. Mitch.
I'm going down to Mitch in Montreal. I'm going to get your ass fucking fired. Sorry, that was a really bad Alec Baldwin. Go ahead, Mitch.
Hi, Jimmy. Love you.
Hi, Mitch. Thank you.
All I got to tell you, Jimmy, is play your piano. That's how computers work. That's all you have to know.
Oh, okay. So computers
player.
basically work like white, black. You mean, is that where key?
No, a player piano. You know where you put the roll in, and it's got the holes in it, and it goes pling, 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 pling. And
Oh, I thought he said play your piano.
no, you're saying player
I
piano.
swear to God, at
know.
first I thought you were insulting me.
I did.
Play your piano,
Hey,
like
play
get your shine
piano.
box.
It just shone up.
I don't know what a player piano looks like.
Jimmy, it has a roll, and there's lines. Each line represents a key. And if there's no hole in the roll, it's a 0. The second there's a hole, it's a 1. When there's a 1, the little pin goes in, it plays a key. That's all it is. A computer is a player piano roll.
Okay.
All computers are based upon mechanical items, mechanisms that were invented before it.
There you go.
Yes.
That's it.
I just wish that
Good
I
job,
had the
Mitch.
kind of mind that could, like a mathematical mind like these guys have. I cannot comprehend it. I can't grasp it. Like
It
I
is
get it and I
crazy.
know they're explaining it. I can hear them, but my mind doesn't. Just can't do it, man.
Yeah.
I stink at math.
It's crazy stuff. It's very
It's-
hard to wrap your mind around.
It really is. It's just like when they would try to explain like physics or whenever we listen to whether it's Kako or even Dr. Steve, and I
Yeah.
want to understand it because I love it so much, and I just can't.
Yep.
I really feel like a chimp.
Ant remembers a time, and they decided to do away with this, where you had to program your own video games. Remember?
Oh yeah.
You had your computer, and then if
Basic.
you wanted to play, I don't even remember the games anymore. You had to like program
Put
it
in
yourself.
fucking thousands of lines of fucking
Right.
code.
And that's why people were learning computer languages and all that. And then someone got the bright idea, like, that's crazy. This will never
You'd
catch
be like,
on.
if A equals 3,
Right.
then go to line 65.
And then you go down
And
to
then line 65. If A equals Z plus AB, then go to, it was like this constant, if something happened, then send it to this line. If something happens there, then send it to this. And
How long would it take?
forever.
If you wanted to play a certain game. That's how you had to, you actually had to program your own computer.
Yep.
At a long, long time ago.
Was that before C? Because I remember my mother got the gateway for the house. She thought, and my mom had more foresight than me and my dumb dad did, because we didn't. We were like, fuck computers. I was a teenager going, fuck computers.
Why do I need that?
My mom knew. She's like, we should have one in the house. She had no idea that I would one day download a golden shower picture onto it.
Yeah.
But remember the C prompt? You had to like sign on.
Yeah,
It was a whole fucking thing.
Yeah. Yep. That was before like real good operating systems.
all right.
I love that shit though. Oh boy.
Are we done with the
Goddamn
ones and the
basic.
zeros?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna. I appreciate people trying to help me, but I just can't.
Syntax error. Line 15001.
Oh, and then you had to figure out what was wrong with
What's
line
wrong
15.
with it?
Remember that
What
shit?
happened to it? I
Then
was
you would-
running the game.
Then you would have to go all the way back to see why line 15 was wrong.
Yeah, you got to go backwards.
I did a bunch of this shit growing up.
I tried. I did very poorly in high school in DOS prompt. That's what we were being like. DOS, I think, is the language that we were being taught.
Yeah.
I just bought DOS for Dummies. Am I behind? And those I've been kind of interested in those guys who do, or you can kind of belong to Anonymous when you say you do, because they don't have they have a spokesman now though. I think I don't know if he's official or if he's
It's hell of an anonymous.
elected himself. He's writing a book or something. But they were going
that's
after
not
the
anonymous
fucking.
anymore.
I don't know if he's a member or not. I don't know what his deal is, but they were going after the Mexican cartel, and they said that somebody had been kidnapped, and fucking, if you don't release this guy, we're gonna out all your connections. And then they said the cartel did release the person, the Zetas, but then people said it was a hoax. I don't know.
Oh.
What balls to fuck with the cartels, though, man? Jesus Christ!
You don't screw with them.
Oh, because they have their
those
own
Mex-
hackers.
Yeah,
like
they chop heads off.
Well, yeah, I didn't mean it like that, but they have they get computer information. They could just go to whoever has the server and go, tell us,
Yeah.
or we'll kill you.
You tell us, Tony.
I'm fucking amazed with that whole world. These are people who live in a world that I can't
Fathom.
I can't fathom being that smart on a computer.
Right.
Yeah.
Or that crazy to fuck with the Zetas. And I can't fathom being that fucking crazy that you could just cut somebody's head off if they fuck with you. I can't live in either one of those worlds.
Yeah.
It's lunacy.
Let's take a break.
So if anybody knows more, I would love to know more. If that thing was a hoax or not, because I'm fascinated by it.
Fucking phone's lit. They all want to talk about the ones and the zeros.
There's so many people out there that are just smarter than me. It's really hurtful.
Aw.
I was hoping nobody would call. Like that would be the question everybody wanted the answer to.
No, man.
But they all have an answer.
They all want in. All right, maybe we'll do more phone calls on this, or maybe not.
We'll make love.
Or we could do that too, Jim.